Hey everyone, Aaron, Prepping Ohio. So today is the day before Thanksgiving, and I'm sure a lot of folks spent a lot of time today prepping tomorrow's dinner or lunch or meal, feast, whatever. Today, personally, I was in the cold where the snow was flying and the rain kind of, the little mixy thing. It's all coming down, miserable. Very cold, very crappy, a lot of wind today. I was at work. I'm working for a contractor that does maintenance-ish thingy-majigs for a large corporation. Huge body, overbearing, scary thing, right? Well, yeah, they kind of pay the bills. Have lights. I think you can hear the pellet stove running. It's nice and warm in here. It was very chilly when I got here today because I turned the thing off this morning, not really thinking things through. Yeah, it was very cold. It was actually 49 in the house when I got home a few hours ago. It's 7:15 now. I think I got home around 4:30, so in that amount of time, from 47 to 68, I guess, is what it says now. Yeah, it sucks. It was cold, but, it's warm now. There is a new blog that I just uploaded on the website, www.preppingohio.com. I'm not going to say that every time now from every video. I'll put the link in the description down below. If you want to go check it out, it's there. Kind of cool. It's easier to go into more detail about my day on the blog than it is to actually talk to you and explain to you about what I'm doing. Homesteading is very much on the back burner right now, unfortunately. I wish I could be talking to you about sowing winter wheat and doing that sort of thing, or, stacking firewood. Unfortunately, I am a slave to that big old dollar that everybody has to have. That's what I'm working towards getting away from. I don't think I'll ever really get away from it, but I won't have to suck up every bit of overtime that is available to me. It's not a lifestyle that I want. And strangely enough, I've caught myself talking to my kids about work hard, you'll get what you want. But really, what is it that you want? I mean, do you want to work 80, 90 hours a week or whatever is there? I know, per hour, of course, there's no, you can't. Well, I'm talking overtime and double time, and that's what I mean by the 90, 100 hours or whatever. I don't think a lot of people really would do that if they had to. If you're one of those kind of people that do that and that like that lifestyle, hey man, thumbs up to you. I'm not built that way, man. I would be happy with a 40-hour job or less. Actually, way less. I kind of think that if I can make, 20 grand a year, 30 grand, something, or just not have the bills to where I have to make that sort of money, I'd be pretty happy. I'd be thankful since tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Anyway, I'm going somewhere with all this, so just bear with me. Yesterday we flew out a giant sulfuric acid tank. It came up and went out, and by saying fly or flew out a tank, we are flying a tank or flew out a tank. We had a crane come in, hook on this thing, huge thing, it's like a building, and we broke it loose, unhooked all the piping. I'm a pipe fitter, of course, so it explains my stupid little hat. That's what pipe fitters wear. I'll talk about this in a moment. Anyway, we flew out the big, old, crappy sulfuric acid tank and took it way over and laid it on its side. It was a tall tank. We laid it over, and then we had 2 cranes hook onto it, pick it up. A disposal company come in and back their trailer under it, and we set it down. and they hauled it off to wherever they took it. And today we flew in the new tank. And again, there's pictures on the blog. And we also stood it up, flew it over, and then set it down in its place where it's going to go. Now we have a bunch of piping to hook to this thing, and it's in a large containment. And a containment is a place, obviously, that contains something, right? So the volume of this vessel and the other vessels that are also in this containment, concrete walls that are coated with acid protective paint, chemicals, and neat stuff that are probably very carcinogenic and probably going to kill me in a couple years. Anyway, we had to fly way up over top of all the other piping that exists for the other vessels and drop this dude down in. Got him in, hooked him up, didn't hook him up, I'm sorry, anchored him down so he can't blow over. Neat stuff. The day before Thanksgiving, I would have much rather had been thawing out my frozen turkey, because everybody does frozen turkeys, or spent the day butchering turkeys, which I don't own. I'm never doing that nightmare again. About to eat crow, because probably someday I will be doing that, but I've raised turkeys before and it was a pain in the butt, so that's something that I don't want to do unless it's something that I want to do. Maybe that makes sense, I don't know. Yeah, so pictures of that stuff. The acid, not the turkeys. The acid stuff is on the blog. Okay, I'll explain my stupid hat. Stupid hat. I don't know, you've seen a lot of construction workers maybe wearing these. These are called welding caps. They're just cloth. They're real crunchable or something. And they fit kind of tight on your head. And they have this stupid little bell, like most people would wear their hat facing forward, you know, to block the sun and any debris. But these are very soft, so it just, you know, it's not very practical. What this actually is a protector of your neck. When you put a welding hood on, or a hard hat, or whatever, your hard hat kind of locks around here. The brim, the suspension inside the hard hat kind of locks in here, and you know, the hard hats are a lot bigger than your head, so your head looks this big anyway. It's kind of like a buffer of that. Also, if you're wearing a welding hood, your welding hood on some of my jobs, not all, but some, and it used to be always, but yeah, things are changing. You put your welding hood on and you lock it in to where you're comfortable on your head. There's a twisty thing on the back that makes it kind of tight. Your welding hood slides down. Your head is exposed and your neck is exposed from flying sparks. Somebody else is welding right here beside you. There's sparks coming down on you. You don't want your head catching fire. You don't want to get burned up. That's what these are. So in case you've ever seen someone in a gas station early in the morning buying Monster and Slim Jims, that's kind of the life of a pipe fitter. We weld pipe. There's iron workers, they weld steel structural stuff. Boilermakers, they do the inside of boilers at power plants. You know, welders, anybody that's a welder. Also, people that are not welders, you know, normal stuff. Or the guys with like a bandana tied around, but they just look dumb, so you don't do that, you know. It's kind of the not so professional kind of people that do that. Yeah, so anyway, work stuff shut off. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Are you really thankful? Do you know somebody who could use a little bit of love? You know someone who is maybe not deserving, but in need of a good deed? It's cold out now. I'm nice and warm here. There's a lot of people out there that aren't warm. There's a lot of people out there that can't afford to heat their home. I'm very fortunate that I can have all the heat I want. All my kids are warm. All my kids have food. They got whatever they need regarding the basics, you know. I mean, my kids aren't driving around Ferraris, or they don't have brand new four-wheelers. They don't need that crap. Until you've been completely without, do you really appreciate little things. So tomorrow, if you see somebody in need, maybe run it through your head and say, hey, maybe this person can't buy all their groceries. You know, pay for their groceries. Yeah, it's expensive, and you know, it kind of sucks. Are they scamming me? That's something that I always worry about. But when it comes down to it, it doesn't really matter. Even if they are scamming you, you know, you still did a good thing. And it's not like you're banking good things for the ultimate goal. I don't do the religious thing, by the way. Nothing against any religion. Well, some religions. Most religions. But being a good person is something you can hold your head up to, you know? So, I don't know, man. I mean, where we live, there's no streets really for people to live on, like a street person or the homeless person kind of thing. No, like I said, I've been down and out, and I've had nothing. I've had absolutely nothing. I've had no money to my name, no food, no anything. Fortunately for me, things kind of fell into place. Strange, you know. Maybe this is like the religious thing telling me, hey, there is somebody above, and maybe there is. I don't know. But I've been very fortunate. I've had a tough time in the past. So, you know, anyway, that's my own thing. If somebody needs something and you have it to spare, give it to them. What's it gonna hurt? Just be a good person. You're supposed to be thankful tomorrow. Maybe you could be thankful giving somebody something. And you don't have to go tell people about it, you know, just keep it to yourself. That's your little happy thing right there. You did a good deed, right? A good deed a day. You know, just a good deed, especially tomorrow, Thanksgiving. Do a good deed. I don't know, anyway. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So, eat a bunch. Turkey. Sounds good to me. Alright, everybody. Oh, also, before I go, Saturday, Buckeye, Michigan game. I'm not a sports guy. Probably the same as, like, I'm not a religious guy. But, you know, hey, go Buckeyes. Beat Michigan, right? Alright, we'll see how this goes. I probably just put my foot in my mouth, and I probably jinxed the whole thing. But, come on, Buckeyes! OH!